now you want.
Thank you, Chairperson. So after implementing this 100% customer flow, the numbers for EP getting enrolling for the GV has decreased, and around for actual is only 100, while the goal is 198, as I remember. And so although the customer base is more narrow and implementing this customer flow, it would be easier. But in the end, numbers might be affected because this customer flow is implemented. Thank you.
Ms. Kathy Kwong.
Thank you, Chairperson. And I think after the thank you, Chairperson. I think that after the implementation, actually, the performance is not that satisfactory. The reason behind is that we don't know how the markets will react to this new customer flow that this year initiated, and then we do not know how the market will actually react. And actually, the customers actually like deleting the interview they have before we have those interviews. Actually, the customers are like they less treasure the opportunity that they have. So which causes the customers to actually left. So I think it's after the implementation actually is not that satisfactory. Thank you.
New question number 4. Ms. Brianna Zhang.
Please state one difficulty for the front office to do the value delivery.
Time's up, candidate. Ms. Kathy Kwong.
Thank you, Chairperson. For me, I think that the biggest difficulty is the members. First, they do not know well about the value that they need to deliver. So actually, they do not know, and how are they supposed to actually deliver it to the EPs? And the second thing is that they do not know the mean of how to actually deliver it. So even if they know about the values, they don't know the mean how to make it interactive or enjoyable for the EPs to actually receive the value delivery, to actually get what it means, and also so I think that they don't know the means of what ways do they need to use to actually make a great value delivery. Thank you.
Ms. Naomi Wong.
Thank you, Chairperson. So the one difficulty would be for front office to deliver, to do value delivery, is that it is hard for members as EPMs to know how to deliver values, because members are also first-tier people, first-tier AIESECers, and they are also greens, and they do not know what kind of values or how to deliver them. So this is a kind of HR problem, and this because they do not know how, so it would be difficult for them to deliver value. Thank you.
Any follow-up question? Ms. Brianna Zhang.
Thank you, Chairperson. Then please propose one solution for the difficulty mentioned.
Ms. Kathy Kwong.
Thank you, Chairperson. I think the first is on education. On the education side, is that to actually educate the members about the values that we want to bring to EP. The reason behind why we need to bring this value, and that's actually how our members to actually know about the values before they need to deliver it to the EPs. And another thing is about the mean on how to deliver. First, I think that we should give training workshop to the members on about public speaking, because like most of the time they do it through like EP lead and also OPS, and also I think that they need to have the skills to have public speaking, to be confident in speaking in front of people to actually have better value delivery. And another thing I propose is to have lead libraries. Lead library is a library with different lead sections, example in the past. And I believe that like the members could actually look at these examples to see how can they have a right delivery.
Ms. Now you want.
Thank you, Chairperson. So the proposed solution would be to have simulations for members in the front office. We could have externals and helping them to understand different kinds of how to present or deliver a kind of, say, lead session. And through that, they would understand what kind of values that EPs would receive and how would it be easier for them to deliver it to them. And this is the proposed solution. Thank you.
New questions from the floor. Mr. Charioga.
Thank you, Chairperson. Okay, for Kathy, you propose that you're gonna have 3 managers. So what are the differences with the main JD between 3 of them? And for Naomi, you're proposing like 7 members in total here, and with only 1 manager. So how would you justify the structure and the high number of members? Thank you.
Time's up. Ms. Kevin Kwan.
Thank you, Chairperson. For the 3 managers, they will be first is tracking and follow up. The second is internal communications, and also the third would be value and also training delivery. And but then I think these are not like really fixed, but then they are like mostly responsible on that, because I believe, for example, like tracking and also follow up, I believe that this is what the whole team need to do together. But then he or she might be the one that is the most responsible for it. But then actually the tasks are being done together. Thank you.
Ms. Now you want.
Thank you, Chairperson. So in my manifesto, I put 7 members, but now after a few more transitions, I've changed to 5 members only. So for the manager, I think that the manager can help me in educating the members and also help me execute plans that I generated. For why I decided to decrease the number to 5 members, because I believe that originally I had too much. I think it would be too much burden for the entity to allocate so much human resources to my department. So in the end, I decided to have 5 members, and I would just allocate them in campus and also sponsors and alumni. But it would depend on how the operation runs. Thank you.
Any follow-up question? Mr. Charlie Yoga.
Thank you, Chairperson. So manager management and member management differs a lot in nature, and from all the transition you make with any of the managers, if you have what is the main learning that you have like from the managers? You don't refer to any VPs. Thank you.
Point of clarification from Ms. Kevin Kwan. Ms. Kevin Kwan.
In the end, you said if I don't, or if I.
What is your main learning that you have from speaking to the managers? If you haven't talked to the managers, then from which VP perhaps about manager management?
Time's up. Ms. Kevin Kwan.
Thank you, Chairperson. For me, the greatest takeaway I have through transitions is from Linda, because she's talking about manager management, I really emphasize on the education because her manager is actually from back office and changing to front office. So actually, and she needs to educate a lot on that before the member even come in. So I believe that education for managers is really important. And also the second thing is about delegations. She actually delegate quite a lot. For example, like at EPD, she actually delegate the whole thing to her manager. So I believe that delegation is another thing that I've learned from her on manager management.
Ms. Naomi Wong.
Thank you, Chairperson. So the most manager management things that I learned from is Linda's, because she's running a very big department and she has 3 managers, and she gave the managers the experience to lead a team, and she mainly follows up with the managers and how the progress is. So, and also the managers were very approachable, and the managers could build up a very trusting relationship between the VP and compensate the VP and member relationship. So this is the thing that I learned most. Thank you.
New questions on the floor. Ms. Rosenthal.
Thank you, Chairperson. For Kathy, given that actually talent management is all of the leaders' responsibility in this entity, and they are aware of tracking their own functional performance and able to coach their members, then what is the role of TM in this case? And for Naomi, name 5 alumni that you would like to approach next year, and 3 potential advisors in the campus. Thank you.
Time's up. Ms. Kathy Kwan.
Thank you, Chairperson. Given that they are able to track, even if they are able to track, and I think that if these departments actually track well, it's actually for TM to actually analyze the data that we get and to actually do follow-ups on that, and to ensure the productivity of the other departments. And also another thing is that with the talent management, how actually we help manage the people and actually improve on the people, and where the departments can actually focus more on their own productivity and their own KPI instead of distracting, focusing on the people and also the products that they are boosting or the tasks that they are working on. Thank you.
Ms. Naomi Wong.
Thank you, Chairperson. So the 5 alumni will be Carrie Chan, Kar Young, and Yanis Lau, Tiffany Lau, Kendrick. And for the 3 potential advisors, sorry that I didn't do proper research, and I would go back and find out more about it. Thank you.
Any follow-up questions? Ms. Rosenthal.
Thank you, Chairperson. What are the 2 current ideas that you have in your lead library? With also tell us the respective leadership development qualities that you're addressing. And for Naomi, given that you don't even know what kind of internal advisors you would like to approach next year, please just justify your ambition and your vision for ER.
Time's up. Candidate. Ms. Kathy Kwan.
Thank you, Chairperson. The 2 ideas that I have for the lead library, first would be Leadership Cafe. It's actually getting alumni from getting alumni to actually do sharing to the members, because this is actually a really good way for a really good way for the members to actually know why some of the people are attached to AIESEC before, and also how the alumni can have very inspirational thoughts to actually bring it to the members. So the reason why to have it in the library is that in the future they can actually look back to these. And also another idea is to have it's a section in WNCF. Actually, everyone get a booklet about with a lot of guiding questions, and they just write it on their own, and then do a sharing with another person. The thing is that I think these can really break the stereotype of lead section. Lead sections does not have to be one facilitator and with a bunch of people, but actually can do it on their own.
Point of clarification from Ms. Robertson, Ms. Robertson.
Then which LDQ are you addressing?
Ms. Kathy Kwan.
Thank you, Chairperson. I believe it's empowering others because the above mentioned that it's also it's more on one is on the inner journey of the how we can empower the members in the journey, and another one is through the alumni's experience to actually empower our members. Thank you.
Ms. Naomi Wong.
Thank you, Chairperson. So I want to through what I can do is finding campus to help us and to help to grow the entity, not to only grow, but like to also raise our brand awareness, because not many professors in not many professors in CityU know AIESEC and know what it's doing. So I wish to increase the brand awareness in through approaching the campus externals in CityU. And I want to also make use of the growing alumni base, because we gradually have more alumnus after certain years of setting up in CityU. So I want to make good use of the resources that alumni can bring us and how much they can put back onto the growth of members. And I also want to find out more external resources that can also grow our members. Thank you.
Hands up. New question from the floor. Ms. Rihanna Zhang.
Thank you, Chairperson. To Kathy, you have proposed one-in-one consultation and also one-on-one coaching for both of your focus area 1 and 2. Would you please justify the capacity for it for your free manager? And also for Naomi, you have suggested open up the company training. Would you please suggest 2 companies which can collaborate with AIESEC?
Hands up. Ms. Kathy Kwan.
Thank you, Chairperson. I think on the one-on-one capacity, I believe that actually, if the case is not significant, like we find that a member is not productive, I believe that their own leader can actually help coach, like help one-on-one consult the member, because I believe that they have the ability to do so, and also this is also one of the responsibility of being a team leader. And what TM does is actually for significant cases that we find, for example, like people with NPS score lower than 6 or even lower, with a low NPS score, because I believe the reason behind is that actually team leaders, this is one of their responsibility to actually better manage their team. So when problems comes, team leaders should be the first one to do one-on-one to their members, because if they really care about the teams. But then when TM comes, is that the reason behind is because sometimes there are problems that they don't want to tell their team leaders.
Ms. Naomi Wong.
Thank you, Chairperson. So the 2 companies that I will find is Relay and MakerBay. These 2 companies is what I encountered in this session, but we didn't form partnership. But I really hope that the companies can provide more resources to AIESEC and CityU, because XP Relay provides interviewing and CV writing skills, while MakerBay inspires many people to try to be innovative and creative in their own ways. Thank you.
Any follow-up question, Ms. Brenda Zhang?
Would you please suggest collaboration between TM and also ER? Please do not.
Ms. Kathy Kwan?
I think, Chairperson, I believe the collaboration between TN and also ER is to have find external trainers, because what I want to propose this year in TM is actually having training workshop of what the members want, what members actually expect to learn from here, from AIESEC. So if we the collaboration between ER and TM is that ER can actually find external trainers and also sponsor for us to actually, for TM to actually initiate a workshop for our members to have training. Thank you.
Ms. Naomi Wong?
Thank you, Chairperson. So the collaboration with TM could be the alumnus sharing, because with more alumnus coming back and contributing back to the entity, they could help members grow and also help LT to grow. So they do not educate them functionally, but also on a personally basis about leadership, or more on how they can facilitate themselves for future purposes and career paths. Thank you.
New question from the floor, Ms. Irene?
So for Kathy, you mentioned about team building events. However, there are some people who do not believe the importance of team building. So how would you persuade them the importance of team building? And for Naomi, for your focus area 1.2, your objective is to strengthen the bond between AIESEC and CityU and particular departments. However, what do you actually wish to achieve from the bond that you wish to create?
Time's up. Ms. Kathy Kwan?
Thank you, Chairperson. I believe I would persuade him or her in a way that telling him or her that team building is actually something very basic for a team, and it actually connects the people in the team and actually facilitate the teamwork in the future, which is really important. And another thing is that with team building, they actually connects the people in the sense that they will not want to disappoint you. Because without team building, if you guys are not really a team, then they will not bother to actually do nothing and also and disappoint you. But in another way around, if there are better team bonding and also team building, they're actually like they don't want to disappoint him or her, which is the leader. Thank you.
Ms. Naomi Wong?
Thank you, Chairperson. So the bond that I would refer to is a kind of sustainable development for AIESEC and CityU and also the departments, because for this year, the ER department has more spread out to find out to have built up a database for AIESEC and CityU to find out what the stance and the opinions of different departments in CityU. So I would like to focus on particular some of the departments so that we can easily bond and form partnerships with them. Thank you.
Any follow-up question? Ms. Irene?
Thank you, Chairperson. So for Naomi, you mentioned that you wish to form a bond with Edge. So can you briefly explain to us like why Edge and what do you wish to achieve in particular with the partnership with Edge? And for Kathy, can you explain to us which part of your team building this year that you believe needs improvement and how?
Ms. Kathy Kwan.
Thank you, Chairperson. So actually, I think that this year the team bonding actually is varies between departments. But then the one thing that is in common is the induction conference, where the team is able to have like team building events. So I'm going to talk about my own experience for TM because it really varies after the induction conference. So for me, I think that there can be actually more team building events because actually, other than the induction conference in the beginning of my term, actually, we do not have much team building events. So I think that is something that can be improved on. Thank you.
Ms. Naomi Wong.
Thank you, Chairperson. So especially for Edge, what I want to achieve is that, especially for our product promotion, because Edge is a school department that reaches into gateway education. That means they reach out to a very large base of students. So and also many professors will be involved. So if we reach out to Edge, then we can very easily spread the message of our products. And also, this is a minor thing, but we can also reach out to CCCU. That is another college under CityU, but that is a minor thing. Thank you.
New question from the floor. Ms. Frances Fong.
Thank you, Chairperson. For Kathy, please tell us the number of total exchange that we are driving in 15-16 and 16-17 until now. And what is the number of realization you propose for next year OGV, OGT, and IGT with the existence of TM under your leadership? And for Naomi, what is the value proposition for GV, GT, and GE respectively?
Point of clarification from Ms. Kathy Kwan. Ms. Kathy Kwan.
Do you mind repeating the second question?
Okay, I will just say the whole question again. So please state the number of total exchanges that we are driving in 15-16 and 16-17 until now, which includes GV, OGT, and IGT. And next is what realizations that you are proposing for next year's OGV, OGT, and IGT with the existence of TM under your leadership.
Hands up, candidate. Ms. Naomi Wong.
Thank you, Chairperson. For GV, it is a journey going on self-discovery through understanding the social differences and social situations in other foreign overseas countries. For GT, it is to know the professionalism and the career development of oneself. For GE, it is to understand the difficulties of working in a startup and how to be innovative for the benefits of the society. Thank you.
Ms. Kathy Kwan.
Thank you, Chairperson. For 16-17 sections, the number of exchanges actually for IGT is 6 contracts signed, 4 matching, and 4 realization. And for OGT is 5 contracts signed, 4 match, and
Point
also
of clarification from Ms. Frances Fong. Ms. Frances Fong.
For the total number of exchange, you just say total.
Ms. Kathy Kwan.
that would be 52. Just for OGV, it's according to the latest update on Facebook. And yes, and for 15-16, I need to apologize that I did not do enough research on that. And for the numbers that I propose, it's in total, it's actually 140. Because I know it might be sounds quite.
Point of clarification from Ms. Frances Fong. Ms. Frances Fong.
For the numbers next year, you have to stay for a particular department. Can you recount? Yeah.
Kathy Kwan.
Thank you, Chairperson. For OGT, it would be 6, IGT would be 6, and also OGV would be 140. And the reason behind this is because I believe that OGV will have the capability to actually know more about the new customer flow with this year's data, and I believe that they can actually achieve a higher number. And also for IGT and OGT, actually this year IGT already have contract signed, 6 contract signed. So actually, if we are able to keep these customers, they can have realization of 6. And also for OGT, I believe that this year the customer the contract signed is actually 5. So I believe that there could be improvement.
Follow-up question from Ms. Francis Hong.
Thank you, Chairperson. So for Kathy, what is your goal for NPS of members and LT respectively next year? And please explain why. And for Naomi, please, out of GV, GT, and GE, pick one of the product as your focus next year to form partnership with the school and state 3 departments from the school that you think can fit in.
Ms. Kathy Kwan.
Thank you, Chairperson. So for NPS, for members, I would set like 35, and for LC it would be 90, because I believe that TM will be able to actually facilitate a better experience for members. That's why I set it slightly higher than this year, which is 35, because I believe that with better member experience, the NPS score can be higher. And for LC, it's 90. It's because first of all, LT actually have a much higher NPS usually. So that's why I said 90. Because this year it's already 84. So I believe that there could be improvement, and that's why I said 90. Thank you.
Ms. Naomi Wong.
Thank you, Chairperson. So the 3 school departments and offices that I propose is the Department of Management, EDGE, and College of Science and Engineering. As I mentioned before, EDGE can help us to promote.
Point of clarification from Ms. Francis Fong. Ms. Francis Fong.
So what is the product that you pick as your focus?
The product that I picked is GT. Because in EDGE, they can spread the message really easily, although that, okay. And then for the Department of Management, we have been communicating for, we have been talking about it for a period of time and since the last session. So if we can form a partnership, and this year it will be a very great step up. And for College of Science and Engineering, it has wanted to set up internship. Sorry, it has compulsory internship for each and every single student. So,
Time's up.
thank you.
New question from the floor. Mr. Gary Christopher.
Thank you, Chairperson. So for Kathy, like one of your programs is having a project-based cross-functional activity. So can you give us more description on that? And how do you make sure that it's not gonna mess up other departments' work? And for Naomi, like, do you have any reason why you don't put the College of Business and class here? Because like class and College of Business have been like 2 of our biggest customers.
Time's up. Ms. Naomi Wong.
Thank you, Chairperson. So for why not putting a College of Business there? Because it has been allowing us to set up career fairs in setting up booths in their career fairs. And it would be a sustainable development for the ER department that we can continue the partnership. But I do not so far plan to upscale the kind of partnership. And for class, particular departments in class has showed interest in forming a partnership with us, but for class so far it does not really show. Thank you.
Ms. Kathy Kwan.
I think chairperson. So actually the project actually start with the goal setting and expectation setting of members, because like we can really look into what they actually want to achieve. So if their department they are in is not able to actually achieve their expectations, they can actually go to another department for one project. Because for example, this year, actually there are ER members who wanted to join into BM, but he is actually interested in BM work. So actually, these are some of the opportunities for this project that shows the data can actually reflect how the members really want. And also another thing is to ensure that the department that are going to help another department is not at peak. So for example, like for this year, TM actually did something very similar, which is TM members going to EPD to help out. So actually at the time, we're not that busy.
Any follow-up questions? Mr. Gary.
Thank you, Jefferson. So, what is the actual role of TM there? Because if you say like that, then you can just like the ER member, for example, he or she can just talk to the BM department directly. So you don't need to talk to PM because it's gonna mess things up. And for Naomi, like, what is your strategy to perform CRM to the department? Because upscaling is actually one of the most important components for a sustainable and
Hands up. Ms. Kathy Kwan.
Thank you, chairperson. I think the role for TM in this is actually look into the data, because I don't think that every single department will have time to actually look into the data for each member, like what are their actual expectations. So this is where TM can be to actually notice the expectation of members and actually mobilize the people to actually propose this changing department thing. Because as I just mentioned, actually the department would not have the time to really look into people that detail, but focusing on what their real KPI is. So I believe that TM can actually help them to acknowledge that. Thank you.
Ms. Naomi Wong.
Thank you, Chairperson. I understand the importance of upscaling, but if we try out possible departments and first do from small scale, and then we grow into a bigger scale, and afterwards, when they see our performance is okay, and they will be more willing to cooperate with us. Thank you.
New question from the floor. Mr. Charioka.
Thank you, Chairperson. So based on your current understanding so far, so please explain to us the plenary, our LC's current financial condition, backed up with a concrete number. Thank you.
Hands up. Candidate. Ms. Naomi Wong.
Thank you, Chairperson. For the current financial status in our LC, it was aimed at it was having a expectation mismatch with the rest of the VPs because originally VPs planned to have more financial support from the financial department, and so for the concrete number, I really don't know. Sorry. Thank you.
Ms. Kathy Kwan.
Thank you, Chairperson. So the current financial states for our LC is that we have a relatively high reserve compared to other LCs. The reason behind is that because when we were in probation period, actually we get the support from our school. But then for the concrete numbers, I'm sorry that I do not know. Thank you.
Any follow-up question, Mr. Charyoga?
Thank you, Chairperson. So please comment on like 3 qualities that are needed to be in order to be a good FLA VP. Thank you.
Time's up, candidate. Ms. Kathy Kwan.
First thing, I think the Chairperson. So the first thing would be know the criteria for using money. So for example, like if BM asks for some money, then they need to be clear about the criteria to actually use that money. And also, second of all, is to evaluate that the positive effect that the money are actually used. Like after using that money, what positive effect can those money spent bring back to our LCs? So another thing is to ensure the reserve and also revenue of our LC to actually, yes, and yeah, those are the 3 qualities. Thank you.
Ms. Nam Yu.
Thank you, Chairperson. So 3 qualities is being critical, includes being critical. So knowing how and where to spend the money is very important. Whether it's to invest and also to think about the return of the investment is also a very important criteria of being a good FLA VP. And the person also needs to be reactive. Say have to go hand in hand with different departments to facilitate their running and how they should run their departments and to give them financial support. And third thing is to be open-minded because there's a lot of opinions at the same time. The LFA VP will have to digest and think about the different opinions from each department. Thank you.
New question from the floor. Ms. Mary Chao.
Thank you, Chairperson. I would like to request for the removal of standing order.
Chairperson allows.
Thank you. So for Kathy, please pick 1 member among the whole plenary and pitch him or her to join Global Volunteer in upcoming summer. As for Naomi, assume I'm the Director Professor of Edge. Pitch me with 1 project that is in your mind. Thank you.
Time's up. Candidate. We don't have standing order now, so you can start when you are ready.
So Chris, actually going to Global Volunteer is actually the very first is like,
Pick one member that is not matched for global volunteer.
Naomi, you can start anytime.
Hello, Ms. Chow. Currently, do you know about AIESEC? Let me introduce a bit about AIESEC. AIESEC is a youth-run non-profitable organization that has a branch in our university that will be called AIESEC in CityU. So we really would like to have your help to spread the word of our products. Have you heard about Global Volunteer or Global Talent? It's okay. So it's an overseas experience that allows students, especially for tailor-made experience for CityU students, to go overseas and to experience volunteering or go on an internship. So we would really like to have your help to spread the word to other professors, such that they can lay a word during the lectures and promote our product to them.
So Jasmine, actually going to global volunteering is actually a life-changing experience where you can really embrace diversity. So another thing is that we all grow up in Hong Kong, and this is a very cozy environment for us. So going to global volunteering is really a place where you can challenge yourself, be in a challenging environment, and also like being an ISP is actually like finishing a whole AIESEC experience. And moreover, I know that you're a year one student, so I actually believe that year one is the best timing for you to actually go to global volunteering, because like I know that you're a business student, so actually for following years maybe you go to internship, and also you might have other tasks. So actually year one is the best timing for you to actually go for global volunteering if you really want to give it a try.
Standing order is resumed. Any follow-up question? Ms. Sunshine.
Thank you, Chairperson. So please rate your pitch from 1 to 5, with 5 as the highest. If you rate yourself 5, please justify the reason behind, and if you don't, please suggest what is lacking in your pitch. Thank you.
Point of clarification from Ms. Kathy Kwan.
Rate 1 to 5 is based on the quality of like
Based
Performance
on
of the
performance
of teaching. Yes.
Ms. Naomi Wong.
Thank you, Chairperson. I will rate 3. It's not that I did a very good job, because I could provide more data and more convincing data to convince you to help me in the partnership. And also I need to understand the need of the edge as well, so that I can know what kind of leadership development qualities you want to develop your students into. Thank you.
Ms. Kathy Kwan.
Thank you, Chairperson. I will rate myself 5 because I believe that like I target her because she's a U1 student. I believe that she will have more free time compared to actually in the following years. But then I did that 1 mark because actually if I have more time, I can be much more convincing to her, and also maybe targeting some people who are actually that I know that they are really free during the summers. So thank you.
New question from the floor. Ms. Rhiannon Zhou.
Thank you, Chairperson. For Kathy, would you please explain more about if the expectation from the members or from the LT, they have very diverse expectation on the training or hard skill they would like to receive, how can you cater all of their needs to carry out the training workshop? And for Naomi, you proposed the sustainable campus relationship, and would you please explain how we can attract the campus department to continue their partnership with us, or even like prospect a new campus relationship?
Ms. Kathy Kwan.
Thank you, Chairperson. So I believe that this problem can be solved by how we set the questions. So for example, like if we ask the question is that what kind of education and what kind of hard skill that they actually wanted. So actually hard skill like make it smaller. Like there are less things that they will think about. Like they would not think about the expectation, like whatever expectation, but actually the expectation for hard skills. So we can actually narrow it down. And also like for cross departmental, we can actually ask them through the questions, like asking them, like other than your assignment department, what are some of the things that you want to learn if you're able to be in other departments. So I believe that this problem can be solved by how we actually set the questions. Thank you.
Now you want.
Thank you, Chairperson. So if I want to attract the campus departments to continue with us, I can do it through bringing up how they are satisfied with the performance this year and what benefits that brings to them, and also the value alignment with AIESEC values and also their values or the values that they want their students to have. To propose a new relationship, firstly, I have to understand what kind of students they want to grow and how our products can bring their students to this level. And this could propose a future partnership. Thank you.
Any follow-up question, Mr. Brianna John?
Thank you, Chairperson. Would you please tell us one breakthrough that you will have for the next term compared to this term?
Candidate, Ms. Now you want.
Thank you, Chairperson. So the one breakthrough is to have alumnus mentorship scheme. That is to invite alumni to step into our entity and help out. And because if with this alumnus mentorship scheme, more LTs and perhaps I really would wish if members could also get in hand, also can reach out to alumnus. And because alumnus can provide them not functional knowledge, but how to be a person in the society in the future. So this could be very helpful in catering the growing base of the alumnus and also the growth of members. Thank you.
Ms. Kathy Kwan.
Thank you, Chairperson. So I think that the big breakthrough will actually be having a mass training for our members, because I believe that these can actually like bring hot skills to the members, and also with the skills that they actually want to learn in AIESEC, which they can actually bring back to their like career life in their future. For example, like things like computer related knowledge and also speaking skills. And I believe that these are some of the things that is more concrete that they can take away from AIESEC. Thank you.
New question from the floor. Ms. Francis Fong.
Thank you, Chairperson. Given that talent management and external representations is also the job of LCP, so what do you expect is the role differences of you and me next year?
Ms. Kathy Kwan.
Thank you, Chairperson. So I think that the difference between the president and also the department is that the president actually gives the directions, but then the departments are the ones who are doing the details. That's what TM are doing, and also to actually analyze the data and also generating reports. And I believe that that's something different from what TM does and also what the president does.
One of clarification from Ms. Francis from Ms. Francis.
Thank you, Chairperson. The role difference between you and me, VPTM and LCP, not TM as a general. Now we can go first.
Ms. Naomi Wong.
Thank you, Chairperson. So for the role differences would be that I provide strategies that can bring up the brand awareness in campus in terms of ER. So, but for Frances, she can provide us the directions. It is a representative direction that can guide us to create strategies to meet the needs and meet the targets and meet the goals next year. Thank you.
Ms. Kathy Kwan.
Thank you, Chairperson. So I believe that the difference is that you will be the one to actually give the direction and also give the ending pictures, and I will be the one who actually think of the strategies to actually attain to that ending picture, and also I will be the one who manage my own team to actually how to manage my team to actually help the other departments in boosting the productivity. But then what you do is actually the direction.
Any follow-up question? Ms. Francis from.
Thank you, Chairperson. If it is not AIESEC blue, then which color do you think represent AIESEC most?
Ms. Kathy Kwan.
Thank you, Chairperson. For me, I would choose navy because I believe that AIESEC blue is something that is really connected to the people who know AIESEC. So I believe that we can really get away from the blue. So I choose navy, which is another type of blue instead of AIESEC blue. And I believe that blue is a color that shows the have very calm feeling to the customers and also the inclusiveness of it. Thank you.
Ms. Naomi Wong.
Thank you, Chairperson. I'll pick green because yellow plus blue is green. Yellow is a very bright color and it implies a type of person who is more emotional and passionate. But for blue people, they might be more calm and critical. So in AIESEC, such an entity with many diverse people, I think green would be the mixture and representative color apart from AIESEC blue. Thank you.
New question from the floor. Ms. Mary Chang.
Thank you, Chairperson. So candidate, please suggest one good case practice of for Kathy will be HR, for Naomi will be ER or PR, in outside AIESEC and in AIESEC respectively. Thank you.
Hands up, candidate. Ms. Kathy Kwan.
Thank you, Chairperson. For me, it would be healthcare organizations in America, and it's sorry I forgot the name, but what they do is actually spreading the telemanagement. They are actually having telemanagement instead of HR, and what they are doing is actually spreading their TM people to every branches they have to actually target the best employee that they have, because what they want to achieve is that not only middle management get to go to top management, but then they actually try to target from frontline management or even the non-managerial employees to actually find the best people. So I believe that this is a really great practice of talent management.
Thank you, Chairperson. For outside AIESEC, it is about artistry. Artistry is a place that provides an environment for art people to place artistic exhibitions. Why would I know that? Because they all have frequent updates on their website, and they also posted many posters in the surrounding residents where I get to know this place. So as they have regular updates in that place, I get to know about them. So this is a very good regular update that can bring everyone and refresh their memory all the time. And for Inside AIESEC, I think the Youth Speak Forum organized by HKBU is a very good case practice because it is very effective and it increases the awareness of the campus towards AIESEC. Thank you.
Any follow-up questions? Ms. Marshall?
Thank you, Chairperson. So how have you two been incorporating your learning from the case practice just now into your manifesto?
Ms. Kathy Kwong?
Thank you, Chairperson. For me, actually, it was in my manifesto, but then I actually deleted it. Because the reason behind is that I find that how the healthcare center actually target the best employee can be implemented to AIESEC to actually have TM members to actually get into every department to find the star members. But then afterwards I thought about the feasibility of that. Actually, it's not really that attainable, and I don't think that even if I see a good case practice, this does not mean that it's applicable to AIESEC. That's the reason why I did not put it in my manifesto. Thank you.
Ms. Naomi Wong?
Thank you, Chairperson. So as I mentioned before in artistry, that they have regular setup and regular promotion, I think that to have built up a sustainable development with departments can help that to constantly remind the professors about that we have these products and how they can help us through partnership to boost the performance of our products. And also for the Youth Speak Forum, I have an idea in mind, but I also didn't include it in manifesto yet because it is still an idea developing, and it is quite an innovative idea that to do it through displays, but I haven't put it in there because I think I can still upscale and elevate the product, the display in my mind. Thank you.
New question from the floor. Ms. Irene?
Thank you, Chairperson. So for both candidates, can you briefly explain to us what do you think are the main values of our products, both GV and GT?
Hands up. Ms. Kathy Kwan.
Thank you, Chairperson. So for me, GV would be embrace diversity because through the GV experience, they're actually being able to come across with with different culture. So actually, this is an experience that can be bring to them to bring this value to them. And actually, for GT, it's work citizen and also demonstrating integrity because actually for IGT, like for different IGT and different LC, they are actually finding companies that are that can demonstrate integrity and also like do not go against our values. So I believe that through this experience, the value that can bring to them is demonstrating integrity. Thank you.
Ms. Naomi Wong.
Thank you, Chairperson. For GT, the professionalism and career development can be brought to the EPs, and because they could learn more about the market and also they could learn how to behave in a company. So that is the value that I think that they can learn. And also they could understand more about the world in GT because they could travel to overseas and understand what kind of requirements that the world is requiring them to equip. For GV, it is to encounter self-awareness and also the awareness on social changes. Because if they become more self-aware, they would be more understanding of what they are capable to do and how they are capable to contribute to the society to make more changes in the future. Thank you.
Any follow-up question, Ms. Irene?
Thank you, Chairperson. So for this year, it is seen from the EPM that GV is seen as a backup plan for EPs. Like if they get rejected by their original plan, like internship or other exchanges, then they'll come for us. What do you think should be done to make sure that this problem can be reduced in the next session?
Hands up, candidate. Ms. Naomi Wong.
Thank you, Chairperson. So if it becomes since it might become the backup plans of EPs, I think that we could tell them the importance of the values brought by GV. Say it's not done through us, but it's done through the word of mouth of other people surrounding. The externals, the professors, and also the other campus, the students in campus, past EPs could tell them that how much GV can change a person and how much it can expose them to a different world and to explore themselves. Thank you.
Ms. Kathy Kwan.
Thank you, Chairperson. I believe that these can be solved by promotions to actually know what are the needs of the and actually targeting them. And another thing is to promote the uniqueness of AIESEC, which is leadership. The first is leadership. The second thing that I think that can change the situation is actually promoting that we are actually having projects that gather people from different countries. And I believe that like if they get to know the uniqueness of AIESEC, they would really choose AIESEC rather than other similar products. Thank you.
At time 2030. Chairperson receives general motion number 1, which reads that one must welcome the given to Mr. Henry Han, Vice President of AIESEC in CityU, Vice President of Finance and Legal Affairs of AIESEC in CityU Section 1516. May I have a proposal from the floor? Ms. Mary Chow, may I have a second from the floor? Mr. Charlie Oga, will you speak for the motion?
Thank you, Chairperson. So, Kendrick, welcome to our 4th EGM. Very, very glad that you can come here and challenge the candidate. So please do ask more questions to challenge them in terms of organizational mindset and your past experience as a AIESEC. Thank you.
Will seconder speak for the motion? Second.
Thank you, Chairperson. Thanks, Kendrick, for coming today. So please really challenge our candidates mainly on financial capabilities, as they are not that aware on that part. Thank you for coming.
Any general comment? Ms. Francis Hong.
Thank you, Chairperson. Thank you for coming, and please ask more questions, and please spot if they have any potential in finance department, because I still got none candidates for finance. Thank you.
Any more general comments? If not, Chairperson assumes that motion passed with acclamation. New question from the floor. Ms. Francis Hong.
Thank you, Chairperson. So for Kathy, out of the GI recruitment from recruitment talk to induction conference, please pick 3 points that you can propose a improvement on it to make it more efficient.
And some candidate. Ms. Kathy Kwan.
Thank you, Chairperson. So I believe that what can be improved is the allocations to not be done on the second night of the induction conference, because I believe that actually it's a bit too rushed, and also sometimes allocations could have a lot of sudden events and accidents. So actually it might take up longer time than overnight can be, and also the evening would be really exhausted through that process. And also secondly, it's about the campsite for induction conference, because I do know that this year we are not able to book for more than one night. Therefore, I believe that can be improved through, like, if I'm on time, I would immediately start booking the campsite, because I believe that that's a period of time where the campsite are really at the peak.
Any follow-up questions, Ms. Francis Hong?
Thank you, Chairperson. If the whole selection process is not bound by any rules, like not necessary to be like SAC and SRB, then how do you want the whole recruitment to be with support with other organizations process? Good case practice.
Hands up. Ms. Kathy Kwan.
Thank you, Chairperson. So I believe that actually in other organizations, mainly they are using interview only. So it's actually not much good case practice to find from, because I believe that usually they only use interview, but then we actually use a bit more. But then I think that what are some of the good case practices from another university, which is also AIESEC, they actually select the people after the camp, after the induction camp. So I believe that that could be a good case practice to look into, to see if it's applicable to our LCs. Thank you.
New question from the floor. Ms. Agnes Sloan.
So for Kathy, and please state what are the current problems of the tracking system, and for Naomi, for a seminar, and how could you make sure that the professors you advise come to the seminar?
Ms. Kathy Kwan.
Thank you, Chairperson. So I believe that the current problem with tracking is actually what we do this year as meeting seating. And actually, this is something. The problem is that members are incapable in actually giving the right feedback for the team, because actually in terms of experience, members are actually less experienced than the manager. So actually they are not really able to give concrete and useful feedback to the managers. And also another thing is about the follow up. So this year we have our tracking, but then afterwards we do not do much follow up on the tracking work that we have done. So I believe that are some of the problems. Thank you.
Now you will.
Thank you, Chairperson. So how to cope with whether they would come is to invite the head of the department first, because if the head comes, the department professors would also have to come because their boss is coming. So for bundling, and also I'll make them come as a bundle, like come together in a group. So if they have more companions, they will feel more secure in this seminar, and so that they will come together. Thank you.
Any follow-up questions? Understand.
For now,
Ms. Anderson.
thank you, Chairperson. So for now, what I say is, like including the department head. Once you give out them the invitation, what if that there's no enough people who come? That's the seminar have to work.
Time's up. Ms. Now you will.
Thank you, Chairperson. What if it might flop? I would strongly suggest that AIESECers can go, because this seminar is to actually tell the professors more about AIESEC, and if no professors would go, I think it would be a very good opportunity for ER members to practice to deliver this, the session or the seminar to fellow AIESECers, because they can understand how the seminar will run. And also, as I would invite guest speakers as well, the guest speaker could also share more with the AIESECers instead. Thank you.
New question from the floor. Mr. Kennedy.
Thank you, Chairperson. So for DM, can you tell me two key focus of DM department in CityU for session 15-16, 16-17, and 17-18? For 17-18, you decide the two key focus that you want to focus on. And for ER, here are three scenarios: a manager of a corporation, president of a corporation, and head department of a school department. Can you use one sentence to impress me? And I'll be those three scenarios.
Ms. Kathy Kwan.
Thank you, Chairperson. So for 1516 and 1617, the two main focuses both ISP and also pipeline, and for 1718 is actually for me it would be productivity and also retention. Thank you.
Ms. Naomi Wong.
Thank you, Chairperson. So to the manager, I would say AIESEC could provide you channels to reach into the youth market. For the president, I would say providing us with external resources could enhance your corporate social responsibility. For the head of the department, I would say this cooperating with AIESEC could help to raise the brand of AIESEC, CityU. Thank you.
Any follow-up questions, Mr. Kendrick?
Thank you, Chairperson. So this follow-up question is only for DM. Can you construct a process flow beside the DM thought process for next year to tackle the biggest problem you guys have as DM? And can you tell me the biggest problem?
Ms. Kathy Khan.
Thank you, Chairperson. So I think the biggest problem would be the effectiveness of tracking. So I propose that the process flow is actually education, tracking, and then follow up and also report. So the reason why it's because like education, I believe that, for example, like team standards, like we need to give education on why we need to do team standards trackings and to actually let them know the reason behind instead of just ticking the boxes. And for tracking, we just do the tracking, and follow up is also another important part because if with tracking without follow up, it's actually useless to have trackings. And report is actually for the following years to see what happened in this year. Thank you.
New question from the floor, Mr. Gary Christopher.
Thank you, Chairperson. So suppose PAI comes to Hong Kong, and how are you going to tell him about AIESEC in CityU?
Time's up, candidate. Ms. Naomi Wong.
Thank you, Chairperson. I'll tell him about the growth, as we are a younger entity, we are growing inside the campus, and although not many professors or departments may know about us, we also have more, we also really look forward to working more on letting more students to know about our brand and what we provide to them. We also have a growing alumnus base because more after we have set up for a few more years, we have a more wider alumnus base, and they would also be willing to help us. And we would also really like to ask for your advice to help us on the external resources. Thank you.
Ms. Kathy Kwan.
Thank you, Chairperson. I would tell her that actually, as an CityU, we have a market that is very international compared to other LCs. And also, we are the first to actually use the 100% customer flow. And also, we are the LC with a really high NPS compared to other LCs. And also, we are actually a very new entity in Hong Kong. Thank you.
Any follow-up questions, Mr. Gary Christopher?
Thank you, Chairperson. So suppose that the PAI is a very skeptical person. So how to justify your answer?
Hands up, candidate. Ms. Capricorn.
Thank you, Chairperson. I believe that I will show him with the data that I have because what I've mentioned about like 100% customer flow, actually the people here are the evidence of it, and also high NPS, and also having an international market, and also having a short histories are things that can be supported by data that we have. So I believe that I will show these data for her to actually look into. Thank you.
Ms. Nabil.
Thank you, Chairperson. So for the growing base inside the campus, I can show him about the data that we found out in the marketing research and found out the team. And for the growing anonymous base, I can also tell them about, I show him about the list of alumnus that we have, and also tell them some specific alumnus that we would really like to approach this year. And we also can talk about more external resources about their personal experience, their experience in encountering and getting more external resources. Thank you.
New question from the floor. Ms. Rihanna John.
Thank you, Chairperson. Which one do you think is more important, promoting the brand of AIESEC in CityU or promoting the product of AIESEC?
Time's up. Ms. Nabil.
Thank you, Chairperson. I believe that promoting the brand is more important because unless they know about what we really do, they will not buy into our products easily. Our brand is not that well known in CityU, so we have to push it and to let everyone know and increase the brand awareness of AIESEC and CityU in order to further enhance our product promotion in the future. Thank you.
Ms. Capricorn.
Thank you, Chairperson. I would choose to, I think it's more important to promote our products because I believe that it's attracting people to join, and also at the same time, it is actually promoting our brand because when they know about our products, they will know the source of it, which is AIESEC. And also, I believe that the product is actually what we do to actually achieve the goal of our brand. So I believe that promoting our products is more important because it's more efficient. Thank you.
Any follow-up question? Ms. Rihanna John.
How well do you think our LC is doing in B2C to enhance or maintain our credibility?
Time's up. Ms. Nabil.
Thank you, Chairperson. The good thing is they would buy into having trust on us as students to help them to go through the visa and other complicated processes during the application for the products. But they may judge on the length of the application process because they would think that why would it take so long and how come it would take so long? So in the end, this is the part that they might question due to the length of time processing. Thank you.
Ms. Capricorn.
Thank you, Chairperson. So I think that our B2C is fine because we are actually in engagement there, having like a Facebook or group to actually attract the people. And also, I believe that we are having EGM to actually follow up each and every single customers. So I believe that that is actually a really great experience for our customers. But then I do agree that our customer flow is actually quite long, and they might not know why it actually takes that long. Thank you.
Any question from the floor? Mr. Henry Inhan.
Thank you, Chairperson. For both of you, can you rate from 1 to 10 how well is your manifesto when compared with session 14-15? And can you tell me who are you comparing it with? And can you tell me why is your manifesto special? Because as far as I know, all your ideas are all implemented every year.
Andrew. Hands up. Candidate. Ms. Zhang Yuan.
Thank you, Chairperson. I would rate 7. I will compare it to. Can it be compared with other departments?
Yeah, 14-15.
14.
Session 14.
Okay.
The person's name.
Yes. I would compare. Okay. I would first say why it is special because not all of them is implemented before, and I would also try to upscale what has been implemented before to a more focusing way, say how to focus in particular departments, and also the alumnus mentorship scheme is also my some more innovative kind of way to encounter with alumnus in the future. So, but I didn't have the chance to read manifesto from session 14 and 15. Yes, thank you.
Ms. Kathy Kwan.
Thank you, Chairperson. First of all, I would like to apologize that I did not look into 4015's candidates manifesto. So that's why I cannot compare it. And for the rating, I would rate 6 because 7 because I think that it could be more detailed. More detail could be mentioned, and I think that the reason why I think it's special is because the scheme of having product-based cross-functional activities based on the members' will. Because I think that that's not something that has been done before, and I believe that makes it special. Thank you.
Point of clarification from Mr. Henry. Mr. Henry.
Thank you, Chairperson. Can you clarify the product-based cross-functional thing?
Ms. Kathy Kwan.
Thank you, Chairperson. So actually, it's something having one department, let's say ER department, to actually, if we notice that from the personal expectation setting, we know that he or she is actually interested in something about BM. So actually allow them to go to BM for a product-based event. So actually, because sometimes BM is actually active, so I believe that that's something that can be achievable. Thank you.
Any follow-up question? Mr. Henry.
Thank you, Chairperson. For ER, you mentioned about alumnus. So can you tell me from the start of the establishment of CityU, name me 5 alumnus that is good to coach, other than Harry and Carl. And for TM, I'll ask Jan later.
Point of clarification for Ms. Navi or Ms.
Sorry, I
Navi.
forgot how many alumnus.
Point of clarification for Mr. Henry in and Mr. Henry in.
Thank you, Chairperson. For ER, can you justify the 5%? Why do you choose to?
So,
Candidate.
thank you, Chairperson. I will choose Bagel because he's been the LCVP TM, and although he's less engaging, but it's very good at TM, so this could help a lot in TM training. And I would also look for Yanis because she's very experienced in public speaking. I would also look for Tiffany because when she do transition with me, she was very helpful and approachable. So I think this could be very this could also help members' growth. And I will also find you because I know that you're very experienced and it's also very inspirational past AIESECer. And I will also look for Ryan because he just finished his MC term this year and he would be able to tell us more about his experience. Thank you.
Any follow-up questions for TM? Okay. At time 21:02, Chairperson receives general motion number 2, which reads that the warmest welcome be given to Mr. Hugo Wong, LCVP OGB of ASEAN HKU Section 1617. May I have a proposal from the floor? Ms. Mary Chow, may I have a second from the floor? Mr. Chow Yoga, will proposer speak for the motion proposal?
Thank you, Chairperson. So hello, Hugo. Thank you for coming, even though it's late. Do challenge our candidates before we draft our final list of questions, and if possible, give more insight in the general comment section or individually after the EGM. Thank you.
Will second speak for the motion? Second.
Thank you, Chairperson. So Hugo, thank you for coming for this EGM. I know it's very, very late. So please do test our candidates in terms of like national planning and also some practices from Hong Kong. So thank you.
Any general comment? If not, Chairperson assumes that motion passed with acclamation. As time is running out, so we'll draft the final question list. Okay, so at time 21:04, Chairperson receives general motion number 3, which reads that the warmest welcome be given to Ms. Tiffany Lau, LCVP of ER of ASEAN CityU Section 1516. May I have a proposal from the floor? Ms. Mary Chow, may I have a second from the floor? Mr. Charlie Yoga, will proposer speak for the motion proposal?
Hello, Tiffany. Thank you so much for coming at night, especially I know like you have a very packed schedule. Do help us ask some more questions, especially regarding our meet with the ER department functional area knowledge, and also challenge Chappie with some more of the synergy side and also the entity reality. Thank you.
Will second speak for the motion? Second.
Thank you, Chairperson. So Tiffany, thank you and welcome back to Hong Kong for coming up this late. So please test our candidates in terms of your perspective in more detail. Thank you.
Any general comment? If not, Chairperson assumes that motion passed with acclamation. As time is running short, we'll draft the final question list for the second round of question and answer section. So raise your hand if you have any question and you can put down your hand after I call your name. Mr. Hugo Wong, Ms. Tiffany Lau, Ms. Frances Fong, Ms. Angie Fong, Mr. Henry In Han, Mr. Chow Yoga, Ms. Mary Chow. Okay, so since we don't have lots of people asking questions, we can ask follow-up questions in this round. So the first question goes to Mr. Hugo Wong. Mr. Hugo Wong.
Thank you, Chairperson. So hi, candidates. I would like to ask something about TM as it's related to all of the members in the entity. So I would like to ask, in your definition, what means by LT empowerment, and what kind of empowerment does LT actually need?
Time's up. Ms. Naomi Wong.
Thank you, Chairperson. So I believe that it is to bring direction to members because they are LTs. They could provide more guidance and support for members, not only to make them immediately understand, but give them a direction and they would look for the answers. And also the LT would have to guide them through the journey and to do coaching with them to give them more support and guidance. Thank you.
Ms. Kathy Kwan.
Thank you, Chairperson. To me, I think that LT empowerment is actually telling them the significance for their role as a manager, and also to educate them to how to lead their team, and also have the right delegation to them in terms of like the work. And also, I believe that what they need is how the team manage is team management, because they might not have that experience of leading a team. So I think that that's something that they need to be educated on. And another thing that they will need is also support and trust from the vice president. Thank you.
Any follow-up question? Mr. Hugo Wong.
Thank you, Chairperson. Because I was just looking through the manifesto, so I'd like you to comment on the Kathy, your manifesto on the third key focus area. You talk about LT empowerment. So according to the understanding that you both just had, can you comment, both of you comment on whether the things listed on the third key area can actually help you achieve LT empowerment in the LC?
Time's up. Candidate. Ms. Naomi Wong.
Thank you, Chairperson. So to keep the VP updated, as stated in the manifesto, to keep the VP updated about members could be very helpful to attain LT empowerment, because this could allow that the managers to always keep track on the members, and also to constantly tell the VP what is going on and how's their development, how's their growth, and what else could be improved in the future. And increased transparency would help with the members knowing what the leaders are doing, and they will feel more secure about what they are constantly working on themselves and the individual tasks. And for the need for managers to provide input can allow the managers feel that they are part of the decision making, and they feel that they own the entity. Thank you.
Ms. Kathy Kwan.
Thank you, Chairperson. I believe that team building event is actually something a mean for VP to actually build the trust and also provide support to their managers to actually tell them the significance of their role. And also for regular meetings, I believe that This actually ensure the transparency between VP and also managers. So actually letting managers to know more than what members do to actually show the significance and also difference from members. Thank you.
Next question goes to Ms. Tiffany Lau. Ms. Tiffany Lau.
So for now, we have a question for you about the focus department opportunities. So can you give me three customized ideas for each department so that you can present to the department? And for now, about the training workshop, do you have any specific companies or external sources for training that you maybe you could do? Thank you.
So, Ms. Naomi Wong.
Thank you, Chairperson. I would now suggest three customized ways for departments, but it would not limit to which department. Say I would propose the idea of having word directly lecture, insight lecture promotion, because the professor could, when the professor talk about topics related to leadership, the professor can also include ideas about ideas and values included in AIESEC. And so if the professor could do this way, the impact would be very great because it's included inside the lecture. And the second one would be to have co-organize some events with a certain department, because if we could co-organize certain events with that department, then that department could provide us with more support, and while we can also provide them with skills and the youth talents that we have here. And moving on to the training workshops, I think XP Relay, Mike Makerbay, and also I want to approach LinkedIn. Thank you.
Any follow-up questions? Ms. Tiffany Lau.
So if you need to talk to the department head of Department of English, so I need to give you three specific ideas just to target Department of English to promote AIESEC or promote any of the programs.
Ms. Naomi Wong.
Thank you, Chairperson. We can have include posters in CMC, because Department of English always have classes in CMC. And so the students of English could easily get access and see the posters and get access to AIESEC, and also to have GV experience, because also to promote GV experience, because GV experience has many opportunities, including teaching English in overseas countries. And they could make use of what they have learned in class to apply it to the place where they go. And also, we can also have distributing leaflets in front of classrooms, because many people actually take their classes in CMC here. So if we can directly target them, and this could help increase the EP numbers who are English department students applying for GP. Thank you.
question goes to Ms. Frances Fong. Ms. Frances Fong.
Thank you, Chairperson. So in case you're not allocated to the function area that you prefer first, what do you think is the reason? And in just if this case happened, where do you think you will be allocated to and why?
Time's up, candidate. Ms. Naomi Wong.
Thank you, Chairperson. If I'm not allocated to ER department, the reasons I think that I do not behave professional enough. Being professional is a very important factor in the branding of AIESEC, and it is also very important to that it is the image that we want to show CityU. So as CityU also emphasize on professionalism, so I think that's why I might not get into ER department. And I would think I would be allocated to OGV where I can do more B2C sales because I am a very approachable person and I think I am more willing to open up myself to share with the CityU students who want to apply for OGV. Sorry, who want to apply for GV. Thank you.
Ms. Kathy Kwan.
Thank you, Chairperson. The reason why I think I might not be allocated to TM is because people may have doubt to the feasibility of the strategies that I propose. And also, if I'm not in TM, I believe that I might be allocated to FLA because I'm originally a finance student. So actually, I might have more knowledge than in finance compared to others. Thank you.
Any follow-up question? Ms. Frances Fong.
So what is your belief in OGV and finance respectively? Department.
Time's up, candidate. Ms. Naomi Wong.
Thank you, Chairperson. My belief for OGV is no matter where the EPs would travel to, they would also go on an inner-outer journey that is approved by AIESECers, that we will assure the quality that we provide our services to them is up to our standards. Thank you.
Ms. Kathy Kwan.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairperson. So my belief in finance is the significance of it because without a great management in it, it really affects the following years, not only the term of that year, and also like the whole entity actually cannot run without FLA. So I believe that this is very significant part of finance, and also it's actually support a lot of departments, including front office and BM and even ER. So actually it's a lot of synergy involved in FLA department. Thank you.
Next question goes to Ms. Angie Fong. Ms. Angie Fong.
Thank you, Chairperson. So please rank the effectiveness of
Ms. Kathy Kwan.
Thank you, Chairperson. For me, I would rank booth first, and then Facebook, and then lecture visits, and fourth was poster. And the reason why is because booth, they are actually get to involve, like interact with the AIESECers. So I believe that is a very effective promotions. As second of all is Facebook, because now we are using a more down to earth approach to the customers. So I believe that actually attracts quite a lot of numbers of viewers. And following its lecture, because actually the classmates are actually bound in the lecture hall, so actually it ensures the number of viewers. And also the least is poster, because I believe that actually poster cannot really attract people sometimes, because it's not really interactive compared to booth. Thank you.
Any follow-up question? Sorry, Ms. Naomi Wong.
Thank you, Chairperson. I will put booth first, and then social media, and then posters, and then lecture visits. I'll put booth first because the booth is, because as the marketing channels that we are doing is rather passive, and people would, what we do is we are the ones who engage them, and they are the ones who receive it. So if we don't engage it, they would not be able to receive it. The same applies for the Facebook page, the posters, and the lecture visits. The lecture visits they would be given the idea about AIESEC, but the most important part is still the inside emailing through professors to the students. So if we just talk about lecture visits on the surveys, then lecture visit would be ranked last because it's still very passive. Thank you.
Any follow-up question? Ms. Angie Fong.
So what will be the how to reach the target these channels are not functioning?
Hands up, candidate. Ms. Naomi Wong.
Thank you, Chairperson. For the products that is the OGX departments, there will be no one to promote the products to the campus if BM is not functioning. And for IGT, then if BM is not functioning, basically there will be no one to help out in design work for the promotion materials. And for TM, there will be no one working on the helping on the recruitments for GL. And for ER, if BM is not functioning, ER would be alone in doing all kinds of promotion on themselves, and the brand awareness could not be done or achieved in the end. Thank you.
Ms. Kathy Kwan.
Thank you, Chairperson. For the OTX department, if BM is not performing, the exchange numbers will go down. And also for FLA, it affects the revenue that our entity gain, which affects FLA. And also for TM, like it harms it in a way that TM need to focus more on, even motivate more on people, because if the numbers goes down and BM are not performing, it actually affects how the whole entity's members' motivation level. And for ER, actually ER collaborates with BM in terms of like in promotions. So I believe that that's harm ER in ways. And also for IGT, I believe that it's for BM when they are doing even GL recruitment, it's actually affects, because if BM does not do a good job in GL promotions, it's actually deteriorating the members recruited. Thank you.
Next question goes to Mr. Henry Intan. Mr. Henry.
Thank you, Chairperson. For TM, can you tell me what important trends do you see in the HR industry right now and in the company? And for ER, why is Disney still considered the best company for branding?
up candidate? Ms. Kathy Kwan.
Thank you, Chairperson. So the trend in extra industry is that they try to avoid having only middle management to go up to the top management, but actually targeting the best performing employees instead of like getting people to go for higher roles because they originally have better roles. And also another thing they want to the trend in HR industry is that they avoid hiring outside people, but instead finding people inside their company already to actually go up to higher role instead of like hiring people from other places to actually go for their higher role. Thank you.
Ms. Naomi Wong.
Thank you, Chairperson. Why is Disney has becomes the best company for branding? Because when we talk about Disney, we can immediately bring out some important related keywords, say fantasy and fairy tales that can easily join in with what Disney is about. Comparing to AIESEC, if we can attain the point that when we say AIESEC, people will know leadership exchange over cultural exchange, and that will be such a good idealistic picture. And also for the functional members in Disney, they all knows the value of what Disney wants to bring to the outsiders. If AIESEC in future could attain this will be the best picture to be seen ever. Thank you.
Any follow-up questions, Ms. Henry?
Thank you, Jefferson. For TM, can you tell me which global company will you use to compare to describe AIESEC, the positioning of AIESEC in CityU right now? And what do you foresee next year's AIESEC image will be like for members? And for both of you, can you tell me why don't AIESEC change its name?
Ms. Naomi Wong.
Thank you, Chairperson. Why doesn't AIESEC change its names? Because it's originally an acronym, although that we don't use it anymore. But I think it has the historic value that it's from World War II until now that it was kept in its way. And not only the historic value, but it also might affect the customers because for the current customers, they know AIESEC for AIESEC. Like they know the name. If we change it suddenly into whatever overseas exchange platform name, and they might not recognize this anymore. Like they might not recognize that, oh, this is AIESEC before and this is AIESEC now, and they will be confused. And it will also be hard for internal adjustments to get to the point that they can rearrange all the materials into the new name again. Thank you.
Ms. Capricorn.
Thank you, Chairperson. For the global company that I will say as Facebook at the beginning of the stage, like when it first started, because actually Facebook has started only in a campus, but now it's the work. And why I use it to describe AIESEC in CityU is because we do not like.
Point of clarification from Mr. Henry.
AIESEC CityU right now this year, just this year.
For AIESEC in CityU this year, because we are not for this year we still haven't been able to cover all the youth we have in the CityU. So what I mean is like why I use Facebook is because it started small, but then turned out it becomes like everyone knows it. So I think AIESEC in CityU for now we don't have everyone to know about AIESEC, but then it could soon like in the future they can be like more well known. And for next year, the membership experience will be like what member can really gain is the insight and also the leadership experience they can get from here, and also how they can really learn that challenging environment they got here would actually let them grow. Thank you.
Next goes to Mr. Charlie Yonga. Mr. Charlie Yonga.
Thank you, Chairperson. So for both of you, so among all the constitution and bylaw items, which one from them you think should be changed? And if you can change, you can add any new item, what would it be?
Candidate. Ms. Kathy Kwan.
Thank you, Chairperson. So I believe that what I would like to cancel from constitutional bylaw is having the entity which are in probations, and then if they still did not meet the LC criteria, they will need to flop. And I want to cancel that because I believe that there is always a room for changing. Because in AIESEC, the turnover is actually very high every year. So actually, maybe the following year would have actually be able to improve the LC. For example, like what Ding Dang are actually phasing now, and I believe that like we should not flop an entity which have spent that much time to actually build. So I believe that changing and improving will be better than flopping the entity. Thank you.
Now we want point of clarification from Mr. Charlie.
If you can add any item, what would it be? 30 seconds. Naomi, you can answer first.
Ms. Naomi Wong.
Thank you, Chairperson. I share the same idea because if we cancel out this rule for PLC, if they not meet the LC criteria, and they will immediately drop out. And that is because if they drop out, their customer would be affected, and the customers, especially the students in that university, would be affected because they might have to transfer to say AIESEC in Hong Kong, and the function and the processing time might be lengthened. And for the suggestion would be, I might add one more stage for before PLC immediately failing and flopping. So say add another stage. Thank you.
Ms. Kathy Kwan.
Thank you, Chairperson. The thing that I would add to bylaw is actually having every LC to make EGM attendance be one of the criteria for full members. Because now currently, as far as I know, only our LC is actually doing this. So I believe, I mean the attendance for last meeting. And I believe that this can be applied to the bylaw and also every LC. Thank you.
Any follow-up question? Mr. Charlie.
Thank you, Chairperson. Please tell us what is the main difference between bylaw and constitution? Thank you.
Thank you, Chairperson. So bylaw is applied to the whole AIESEC in Hong Kong, including MC and all LCs. And for constitution, the constitution for each LC varies from each university. Thank you.
Ms. Kathy Kwan.
And thank you, Chairperson. The bylaw is actually what applies to the whole AIESEC in Hong Kong. The constitution is only applied to HLC, which is different. But then constitution is something that needs to be set based on the bylaw documents. Thank you.
last question goes to Ms. Mary Chow. Ms. Mary Chow.
Thank you, Chairperson. So this question is raised by Ms. Crystal Tai, the current LCP of HKBU. So I would like to request for the removal of standing order.
Chairperson allows.
Thank you. So find your potential 17, 18 teammate, which will be invited by you one by one according to the name that you invited. And then to decide which vehicle that you choose as a team to drive LC CityU forward in the upcoming year, and then form the shape and walk around the whole plenary.
The standing order is removed, so you can speak freely.
Find the vehicle. I mean, we create the vehicle with gestures.
You may say so, yes.
Okay.
And remember, only the people you invited will be counted as your perception as the 17, 18 teammates. Okay, so for the potential 17, 18 teammates will not come up by themselves, which will be invited by you, called by their names. Here's that. So you just have to invite the 17, 18 teammates, EP teammates. And then you guys will be discussing about which vehicle will you choose as a team to drive AIESEC LC CityU for in the upcoming year.
So from this side, Gary, Rhiannon, Irene, Ensign, Angie, could you please? Francis, please come out. Please come out, and we can form a vehicle together.
Dragon Boat. Angie will be the one that is.
Like 2 weeks. Like, okay. Roll, Jerry, roll. Okay. Do you feel that? Okay.
The reason we chose to choose Dragon Boat because for Dragon Boat it is a very specific Chinese kind of vehicle that they used during the Duanwu festival. So for that Dragon Boat is there must be a drummer in the very first, and there also the drummer will also yell out to give them directions, to give them guidance on where to go, how fast, and also to give them ideas on what to do and also give them support. So for the people on the boat, they have to go in the same direction and same procedure, same actions to go make the whole boat move. Or if a person is rowing forward and another person is doing another way, then the boat would stay there and the boat would not move fast. Thank you.
And to add on, is actually Francis Hua, the one who giving guidance to the whole team. They're actually shouting out the numbers to let us know like what rhythm do we need to like move the ball, and also how it takes the lead to actually lead us in terms of the pace and leading us to direction. Because like her guidance is actually the only source for us in the team to actually synchronize together to actually achieve the same goal that we want to achieve. And yeah, thank you.
Standing order. Okay, so do you have any follow-up question?
Thank you, Chairperson. So be reminded that standing order is removed currently. So iCable is closing down very soon. So if you're part of the management, what would you think should be the priorities of the one last year? You may discuss it with your teammates of 17-18. Thank you. So if you want them to come out to discuss with you, you may invite them one by one.
So may I invite Arihan, Ari, Anson, Francis, and Angie
To come out and discuss with us.
Yeah, you heard the question. And yeah, I keep was going to close down in 1 year. So like, what do you do? I keep as the
Service provider.
Maybe we can like get that.
Michael.
Like to
That's helpful. Yeah.
I mean, you can think like how do we persuade them that we are lost in quite a lot?
Persuade me.
We still save money, we still have our resources here, and there still are some resources that we can
I think also has some video chat, teenagers that knows how to write about stuff with some consequences. And those are the access and just use it as one of my
Candidate, note that this question is actually they want to know your discussion. So for their
Okay.
And maybe we can emphasize that we are not only a service, but we are also a brand. Like we have a lot of history and we have a lot of good TV programs. And also we have long-term customers who support us from the established till now. Although they are not very much long, but they are loyal.
iCable is Provision, but they have one new charge TV channel. It's one of the kind of
Planning to do collaboration. But you need to discuss with them the decision making and also the shares that we allocate otherwise, like the overview or the features of our cable. Somehow we need to maintain our own features and also do things also, but not directly totally merge to each other.
Speak up and speak up.
So to summarize, so we actually purchased like one people to purchase our company. The reason why we cannot close down is because we still have our own resources. For example, like we have our good TV programs in the past, and also the access to the license to the new charge TV channel. That's why we do not want to close down, and we would encourage people to actually purchase iCable, and also to actually to ask the buyer to actually keep the uniqueness of our company instead of making iCable to a whole new things, but keeping cultures and the basics of iCable. And
Okay, I can add on a bit because iCable also has many initiated changes throughout the past few months. It has included more channels and more programs, even though it is closing down. So these can also be incorporated into the new company that is purchasing us. But also at the same time, as Kathy mentioned before, to keep our one uniqueness. And also for decision making, iCable has to talk to the company that is purchasing us to not to overtake the specialities as mentioned before. So that is not directly merging, but including our own specialities into that company. Hopefully, thank you.
Standing order is resumed, so please get a seat and thank you. At time 21:49, Chairperson receives